X to the O. X. O. Sports Talk, baby.
XO.
I like that. You have to use that.
Intentions. Yeah, I have no intentions on doing that because I would just mess it all up. You guys would just make fun of me going, you don't have no rhythm. Why are you even trying?
Oh yeah, we're gonna make fun of you anyway. So it don't matter.
Yeah, I know. Damn if I do, damn if I don't. So just let's go with the show. Terry, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I had a good start to the week, man. Real good start. I'll tell you guys about that later.
Okay.
All right, you tell us about that later.
Good start to the week.
Inquiring minds definitely want to know that. Little brother, Brian, how are you tonight?
I am good. I have a good start, but I'm gonna try to finish the week off good. There we go. So it's the reversal.
Oh my goodness.
How about you, Aaron? How you doing?
Me, I'm just somebody asked me that at work, and I says, I'm just dancing on the ceiling, and I just can't dance. So they looked at me like, huh? I was like, exactly. That's how my day's going, huh?
As they say, everybody dance good when they're alone.
Yeah. And I am alone. but guys, I didn't even say this in production. A former co-worker and truly a good friend, and she is a mentor for me. And she just had surgery, and very painful, and she's fighting, and her name is Terry. And Terry, you keep on fighting the good fight, and everything will be all right.
Yeah, definitely.
And our prayers here at XO Sports Talk.
Yes. Terry.
Yes, sir.
Double time to work for you today. Tell us about that subscribe button.
Actually, I'll swing that. You want me to swing it?
Oh, okay. All right, man. Nah. No. Up to you, man. I'll take it, man. I'll take it, man. Stop trying to hog the rock, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be a superstar, Kyrie.
Give me the ball. I just want to shoot.
XO Sports Talk would like to thank our viewers, listeners, and subscribers for their support. If this is your first time checking us out on YouTube, the show is also streaming on all your favorite podcasting platforms, Google, Spotify, and iHeart, to name a few. If you want to stay up to date with our latest videos and the latest news and rumors going on in the world of sports, hit that subscribe button, press the like button, and tap that notification bell. You can also share our channel with your friends and family by clicking the share button. Feel free to join in on tonight's conversation by jumping in on the live chat, or you can call 475-221-5006 to join in on the conversation.
All right.
Definitely.
Thank you, Terry. Now back to work, Terry. NHL Hockey Outdoors.
Wow, man. Triple time, man.
You don't get no overtime pay either.
For this?
No overtime pay. Straight time.
Told you we had a birthday gift for you. Not good enough.
Tough moderator, man. Tough moderator here. So the NHL had its Winter Classic, which took place on January 2nd at Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts, with 39,000 fans in attendance, where the Boston Bruins defeated the Washington Capitals 2-1. This Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Washington Capitals will be taking on the Carolina Hurricanes at Carter Finley Stadium, which is North Carolina State's home stadium, which is located in Raleigh, North Carolina. Shout out to the NHL, as the game is expected to generate an estimated $12.4 million in revenue for the city of Raleigh. The expected attendance for this game is 28,000, and we have Carolina as being the favorite to win the game, as they are at home and in first place in the Metropolitan Division at 35-10, and the Capitals, who are in the same division, are sitting in fifth place. Weather conditions for the game: expected temps are supposed to be 45 degrees starting at 8 p.m. So we'll see. It's supposed to be a warm, really warm day in the Carolinas on Saturday. So we'll see how they handle keeping the ice ready for the game at 8.
Yeah, that is going to be interesting.
If we keep going the way we're going, you might have the outdoor hockey game in Alaska.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
that is true.
I we just got through the month of January here in Connecticut, and I think so far this winter, you guys stop me if I'm wrong, we've had maybe 2 inches of snow.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, I just had that conversation. I was like, wow.
Snow. We've had rain, and for the month of January, we were like, we were above average of 8 degrees. And so we've said, you know what? Here, February is going to show its ugly face. And we've been rolling through February in the 50s and mid 40s. And I'm like, I like this. I'll buy this for $1 every day of the week.
You and me both.
Yeah. So, I hope they're able to get a good hockey game down there in North Carolina, where that all of us here on Exo Sports, we have family down there. So we hope that the weather's good down there for them to enjoy a good hockey game outside.
Yeah, nothing better than
as Emerson would say,
game.
It'll be hot on the ice. Just not when the game starts.
The ice is hot.
Yeah. You know what, T? Save Emerson. I just got out of rehab. I need more therapy, because I talked with him today, and it was, just like it was on the show. I was like, yeah, okay, I gotta go. Well, wait a minute. I got another joke for you. Love him. I love him, but oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Guys, NFL Super Bowl 57 Chiefs beat the Eagles 38-35. Guys, what did you think of the Super Bowl? Terry?
I thought it was a good game, a really great game, actually. I thought it was a good game on Sunday when I watched it, and it was a great game on Monday. But I guess you could say, if you're not a fan that watches football every Sunday, from that perspective, this was probably one of the best Super Bowls to watch. And also in the history of Super Bowls, both offenses were explosive. They were making big plays. And to start the game, I felt like both defenses were playing very well. I mean, they were hitting out there. You heard it. You didn't just see it. You heard it. But the Chiefs, like I've said in the past, and I'll just say it again, they're like the Golden State Warriors of football. You cannot put up enough points to beat them. And you think you got them, and here they come. They're just marching one step at a time. Next thing you know, it's a touchdown score here, field goal maybe here, touchdown again, and then before you know it, you lost the game. So, but it was an excellent game. I would call it one of the best Super Bowls in the history of in the history of the NFL.
Ryan?
And definitely was one of the best Super Bowls. I compared it somewhat to coming down to the end. I compared it a lot to, I think it was the Titans and the Rams, where it came down to the last play at the goal line.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of reminded me a lot of that game, the way it ended. But offensively, if you're a fan of sports or football in general, you weren't disappointed. And Philly, they came out with the game plan. And the game plan that they had, they needed, they did it, they executed, they got up with the lead. You thought they was basically had time of possession on their top side, and ultimately they still lost. And what's intriguing about it is Hurts had a MVP game and still lost, and Mahomes had a MVP game and won. So you had both quarterbacks played exceptionally well. As Terry mentioned, the defense, it wasn't like there was no lack of defense out there. It was just good play calling on both ends. Philly had a lot of fourth down plays that they executed on and kept their drive extended. And Kansas City Chiefs had I think it will be one of the best game plans offensively called, whether it be Bieniemy along with Andy Reid. Offensively, that was a plus execution of a game plan of breaking a defense down.
Me, I thought the Super Bowl was good. I thought it was a real good Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I thought there was some very bad coaching come the second half of the game. And here's why I say it. When I was watching the game, Jalen Hurts was in the pocket looking like Joe Montana. And I had this conversation with Emerson. He's patting the football. 1, 2. That's 2 seconds right there. Left, right. That's about 4 seconds. He just had so much time. That offensive line of the Eagles held that pass to that front four in check. Both teams scored when they got the football. I said, okay, they're just knocking off the rust because they haven't played. It's coming off of a bye week. And there's no really familiarity with these two teams. So I said, okay. When it came to the second half of the game, you saw Nick Serena and his young coaching staff get out coached by Andy Reid's older coaching staff, where that they basically said, Jalen, you're not going to sit back there like you did the first half. We're coming at you. And they were not ready. They had nothing for it. And I'm saying to myself, you didn't think they weren't going to come after you? They're down by 10, and you think they're just going to let your quarterback just sit back there and continuously to pick you apart? And you couldn't make any adjustments for that? I say shame on them.
And I don't know about that. Okay.
Oh, no. Go ahead. Say.
No. Go ahead, finish what you were saying.
No, you go ahead.
I didn't think it was so much that they didn't make adjustments, because they did put up points in the second half, and they did blitz. He just made some good plays to the tight end, made a couple of good catches. He made a couple of good throws. And in the first half, there was a couple plays where he threw to A.J. Brown. He had time in the pocket, but he was double covered. He just threw it up there.
Yeah.
So their game plan was like not to let them score quickly up on top, which they did. And they methodically had to drive, and they got them to a bunch of fourth down plays. Philly just went for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you want to say something, Sid?
No, I think, I think also kind of what was missing was the Eagles really didn't have success, and we kind of spoke about this with their ground game. And I think if they had been able to run the ball a little bit better, that would have prevented some of your blitz packages that the Chiefs were throwing at the Eagles. I think that factored in because they weren't really. I think maybe Jalen Hurts probably was the leading rusher for the Eagles, and I didn't get a chance to look back at the stats, at least for the Eagles rushing wise, but I'm wondering if they even hit 100 yards rushing, and that's with Jalen Hurts. He has some big runs too.
Yeah, looking it up,
So
see, he had Hurts has 70 rushing yards on 15 attempts. The team itself had 115.
okay,
So you're
That's a
right.
lot.
But that's a lot for your
yeah, but I
quarterback
mean,
to be running.
yeah, that's from your quarterback.
Yeah, 70 yards
So
from
you
the
know what I
quarterback.
mean? It's like, and I guarantee you, at least half of those yards came from him scrambling out the pocket.
Mhm.
You know, on a pass play. So, you know, the Chiefs were able to kind of dial it up with their blitz packages because, you know, the Eagles didn't keep them honest with the run. They just,
Yeah.
you got to give the Chiefs credit. Their defensive line held up against the run.
And one other thing I just want to say is that I thought at the end, something I want to keep my eye on with Hurts running that much. He got knocked pretty good times. He got hit pretty good a couple of the times.
Mhm.
And on that last play, that Hail Mary, that one he threw, it was like 10 yards short of everybody. He couldn't. So I'm wondering,
shoulder
was hurt or not. He nobody even had a chance to get the jump ball. It just hit the dirt. He was 10 yards short on that or something like that.
Well, let's go like this. Say if his shoulder's bad. Well, so far that we know, he doesn't need surgery.
Mhm.
That's a good thing for him because you don't want to see a quarterback go through surgery. But to me, with the Eagles, it should have never came down to this. Never. Your quarterback's got 15 yards rushing. That's not good. I mean, 75 yards rushing on 15 carries. That's not good. I mean, yeah, he's running the football, but you know what? He's not banging up the defensive backs. He's not banging up the linebackers. The running back's not banging up the defensive line. You just got a quarterback running out there.
But
and that's not a lot of yards.
No.
Well, it's a lot of yards for a quarterback.
Yeah.
But not for a game.
And looking at the rest of the running backs, one had 7 carries, the other one had 7 carries, one had 3. So that's coaching calls right there.
Again.
Yeah.
Youth over the old timers, because Sispanos, the defensive coordinator for Kansas City, this is ring number 4 for him.
Yeah.
As a defensive coordinator, he's beaten New England twice, Brady, and he's picked up one against the 49ers and now the Eagles.
He was defensive coordinator for the 49ers?
I mean, I'm sorry, not the 49ers. He beat the 49ers as the Kansas City Chiefs defensive coordinator.
Spags, right?
Spags. So he's got already four Super Bowl rings as a defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And to me, the job that the offensive coordinator for the Eagles and defensive coordinator for the Eagles, they both got head coaching jobs. And to me, they got rewarded for nothing. Neither one of them in the second half. If you showed me adjustments for Kansas City and there was nothing, you basically let Patrick Mahomes just lay back there in the pocket.
Yeah.
You damaged his ankle. You got to go after him.
Yeah, but they also got some, and it surprised me. I didn't expect the Chiefs running game to do as well as they did in this game. And Pacheco, he had a big game. a
Mhm.
real big game for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Because that second half, the Eagles did make an adjustment, and that was taking Kelsey out the picture.
Hmm.
But the Chiefs were able to make their adjustments in the run game, and Pacheco, he showed up big for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was running hard too. He was running like a
Mm-hmm.
big back, man. He was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh,
Now, guys, where do you rank Andy Reid as a head coach? Terry.
I mean, he's one of 14 coaches that have multiple Super Bowls. So I mean that puts him up there. I think he's now the all-time, or is the all-time, or holds a record for most wins for both the Eagles as an NFL coach for both the Eagles and the Chiefs. So that's saying a lot about his coaching career. And what was he? It was like 14 seasons with the Eagles or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think, I mean, you got your Mount Rushmores, Belichick.
Now that's winning a Super Bowl with two teams.
Mhm.
No,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, he didn't win. He didn't. No, he took two different teams to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He won two Super Bowls with Kansas City.
Yes, that's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, he's in the conversation. That Mount Rushmore is, Jimmy Johnson, Bill Walsh, Belichick. You could look at Tom Landry, you could look at Chuck Noll. So he's in the conversation now. And I say that as someone who, when you asked me that last week, in the group text, after the Chiefs won on Sunday, I said I take it back. He's a great coach, and he deserves to be in the conversation. I think if he got one more, you can kind of start carving his face in that Mount Rushmore. But he's definitely in the conversation of greatest NFL coaches.
Brian.
Yeah, and I brought that up last week in regards to that because of you look at all the accolades that he has done. It is a great achievement. When I thought about that, I was like, well, we know Belichick is considered the GOAT of coaching, who basically had Tom Brady throughout the whole run of his tenure. Andy Reid, if we look at it, he had a lot of quarterbacks that were, we'll say, good quarterbacks.
Serviceable.
Yeah, we would say that. Yeah, I don't even want to downgrade him. And then when he did get one in Philly, which McNabb, he's not a Hall of Famer, right? No,
Hamburger McNabb.
Yeah,
no.
But you see what he did when he got a quarterback that was better than average. See what he did with Michael Vick, and that was on the second stage of his career. You see how his career his stats just went all over the place. And now you got him with a Hall of Famer quarterback, and you get to see, okay, now he's going to take him to the Super Bowl and win it, take him to another level. And just with that being said alone, he's always won. He whatever team he seems to go to, he wins. When he was in Philly, he was always going to the playoffs. Kansas City, now he's here. He's always in the playoffs. So I think it speaks for itself. I definitely have him up there because it's not all about the ring. Sometimes it's about talent that you have, and you can still succeed with the talent that you have.
Well said.
When Andy Reid was in Philadelphia, I looked at Andy Reid as a poor man coach, that he never had the great quarterback, but he can take a good quarterback or an average quarterback and was effective with them. He was like, to me, I considered him like that mechanic that you couldn't afford to. He was you couldn't take your car to the dealership to get work on because it cost too much money, but you knew the guy that was about a block down the road. Hey, let me bring my car by, and could you check on it for me, please? Because I ain't got no money to go to no dealership and get paid. And he can get your car running.
Oh.
And that was Andy Reid. Donovan McNabb was good. Donovan McNabb wasn't great. Peterson, who's now the head coach down there in Jacksonville, he was under him. He made him look good with the offense, and he was the backup. So Andy Reid always had that in Philly. Then when Andy Reid goes to Kansas City, he makes Alex Smith look good. Now all of a sudden, they draft Patrick Mahomes. They were like, what? Who? Him? And then all of a sudden it takes off. And now Andy Reid is saying, yeah, guess what? I can even work on Rolls Royces and Ferraris and make them purr. And one of the reasons why I say that is when the wide receiver left.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yep, I forgot to mention that.
To go to Miami, Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill, yep.
I was like, that was one of the dumbest moves, letting him go, because this kid can open up the offense.
Yep. Everybody thought that was a bad move.
Yep. And what did they do? They retooled. You have all of a sudden Juju. He can play the slot. What does Juju have? Good, consistent hands. Good, consistent hands means the chains keep moving. And the other two wide receiver, and then you take off Chekhov as the running back out of nowhere from Rutgers. You're like, wait a minute. This team didn't miss a beat.
Yeah.
And Patrick Mahomes figured out he doesn't have to try to be the star. Just move the chains. Everything is not always about the home run. Just move. And he's now figured that out. And in football, you need two things. If you win the Super Bowl, can you stay healthy in 2023? And can you remain hungry? Because every time you step on the field now, everybody's going to want a piece of you.
Yeah.
And so can you play 90 minutes of football? But for me, going back to Andy Reid, I think Andy Reid, you'd have to put him in the top 7. If Andy Reid wins another Super Bowl, Andy Reid starts jumping over people.
I think he jumped over a couple people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that'll be 3 Super Bowl rings for Andy Reid, going to what is it, 4 Super Bowls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he would take a mighty jump. And I mean, could you imagine if he gets 5 with Kansas City, 5 Super Bowls?
Yeah.
Now he really begins to jump over people.
Yeah.
Yep.
But he's at 2 now, so let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
But if he gets a 3rd Super Bowl, oh brother, look out. You won't be able to stop these Kansas City Chiefs fans.
Yeah. And that's one thing I would say, but you were right about that, Aaron. But one thing I can add on to that is that since they've been there so many times to the playoffs, being the hunted, which I thought they were the hunted already anyway, because I thought Buffalo and everybody pretty much knew they had to go through them. So
Yeah.
they was already the 100, and they didn't even have Tyreek Hill, and they was still the 100.
Yeah.
So
And one
Go
question I
ahead, Tim.
have is, how does Travis Kelce get open all the time? How? I don't understand it.
yeah,
How does he get open?
He's not a slow-footed tight end.
No, he's not.
no.
For a
But
He's
big
on.
man,
Yeah.
he moves. So all of
Yeah.
a sudden, you've got Juju, you got to watch out for. You got the other you got the other wide receiver you have to watch out for.
Mhm.
And now, all of a sudden, here comes Kelce out. A linebacker can't stick with him. A safety,
Too small.
yeah,
too small. And he's got great hands.
then when you
There's-
double him, you get Juju Smith.
Yeah.
Lighten you up. So
And the thing about Juju, and I'm saying this because I've watched him, and this is something I always believed in. I don't care about your speed. Can you run a route and can you catch the football?
yeah. Well,
Because if you can catch the football, you're moving the chains.
mhm.
Now, my
Yep.
cousin Emerson will argue with me and go, he's got great speed. He can get down the field.
4-2, 4-4.
4-2, 4-4, all that stuff. And I'm saying, what good is that if you can't catch the football?
Can't catch. It's useless. Yep.
And I say this because I look at Hines Ward. Hines Ward did not have speed, but he was consistent catching the football. So if you have Juju Smith consistent in catching the football, that defensive coordinator knows he's strong. He catches the football. I still have to keep my eyes on him.
Yeah.
And then top of the boot, I still have another wide receiver. I can't think of the kid's name, but he's got speed on Kansas City.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I
Now
don't even know
throw
if he
in
had a
Kelce.
catch in there. I think he might have had one catch in that game.
Double team
so.
him, and what do you have?
Yeah. Well,
Now you got Juju one-on-one, and now you got Kelce.
yeah. Like when you said, you got rid of Tyreek Hill and you picked up Juju Smith. Everybody's like, what the hell is going on?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody thought it was a bad move.
Yeah.
All the experts.
And think, and here's a prime example. You remember on the third down, Patrick Mahomes was running out of the pocket, and he threw the football low to Kelce.
Yeah.
And Kelce, and the ball was about maybe 2 inches from touching the ground, and he palmed it with both hands.
Great
First
hands.
down.
Yeah.
And what
Chains
does that
move.
do? Chains move.
Yeah.
Give me that every day of the week, moving the chains.
Yeah.
Yeah. But all in all, you have to say, you got to give Philly credit because you think about the 7 points they got from the fumble. 7 points that they got from the fumble. Take that away. Who knows what would have happened in that game?
Yeah.
No,
fumble was big.
I'm not giving Philly nothing.
How can you not, man? They played a great game.
Played a great game.
They played a good game.
No, they played a great game.
Let me retract that. Philly played, in my eyes, they played a great game the first half. That was not a good game they played in the second half. You're up by 10.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're up by 10 and you lose by 3, and your adjustments, in my eyes, for Philly was not good.
So if you lost by 3,
you got you. So that was what, a 13-point swing.
Well, you gave up 7 off the fumble. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No, but still at halftime you're still up by 10. So you're up by 10 no matter what. So even though, there was certain things that happened with the fumble and stuff, at the end, you're up by 10 going at the halftime. So
Fumble was in the
made
second
me-
half, right?
No,
Nah, first half, right?
It was in the
it was
first.
the first
I think it was the first half.
where they
Okay.
scored a touchdown. Philadelphia scored a touchdown. Or are you talking about Kansas City scored a touchdown off of the sack one tackling Hurts. That was in the first half.
Okay. Yep. Yep. It was. Yep. I remember now.
So now, in my eyes, you're up by 10. You got to you cannot lose that game.
Yeah.
You
That's
cannot
tough,
lose that
man.
game in the
It's
first
tough.
in the second half. You're up by 10. What you call it? What Spags did for the Kansas City defense? He said, "You know what? Jalen was sitting too comfortable in the first half. We're going at him.
Yeah.
We're going to force him to make the right call with the ball," and he didn't.
Nah, he
Because
made
they
some
were
dimes
coming.
out there still.
He made some dimes, but in the end, he had no quarters.
Well, he had
Yeah.
an MVP
Oh, he
game.
played well I think he played for a rookie. I mean, not a
Yeah.
rookie. First time getting to the Super Bowl, young quarterback. He played well. He
Yeah.
played very well.
He had an
I
MVP
said
game. He would have won the
He
MVP.
played,
He
I
didn't.
said this. He played good. He played great the first half. How much running did you see Philadelphia do in the second half?
Oh, that's not his fault.
Yeah, that's
This is what I'm saying. That's why I said the coaching staff.
Yeah.
I've said from the very beginning that coaching staff did a dumb job.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
didn't mix. They were just terrible.
Yeah, I was surprised they couldn't run. I was surprised by that.
Mm.
How
Yeah,
many
I was surprised
How
too.
many screen passes did you see from them? How many passes did you see the running back coming out of the backfield? Kansas City was already scared of the wide receivers, but how many times did you see not the Kansas City, but the Philadelphia Eagles running back coming out of the backfield for either a screen or a little dump off?
But what I will say, Aaron, to you, in regards to adjustments, everybody thought Philly would be able to get pressure, which they've been doing to everybody with just 4 men. And they couldn't get pressure on them. So
Yep.
Yeah.
But I said this to you, to both of you. I said, I'm going with Andy Reid for one reason. He can make the adjustments at halftime.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's when we
And
come
he
to
didn't
coaching.
prove me wrong. Yeah. So, guys, where do you place Patrick Mahomes on Mount Rushmore? Terry.
I think time is still needed for don't get me wrong. He's a great quarterback. I think he just added to his legacy coming into this game. Knowing everybody knew that ankle was not 100%, and then to see him get hit and tough it out, and get off the field and then come back on and play the way he did and actually have a big run for the Chiefs, scrambling out the quarterback. But I think he's got. Let's put some more. Let's put some more information on that resume before we start talking about Mount Rushmore. My opinion.
Well, he's got 3 Super Bowl appearances.
Mm-hmm.
No, is it 3 or 4? 3.
You got 3.
3.
Yep.
3 Super Bowl appearances and 2 Super Bowl rings in less than 6 years.
Yep.
Yeah, which I think there's a lot more to his what do you want to call his story?
Yeah.
That can be added to and added to the resume. But let's see how the story plays out and what more information he gets on that resume before, at least for me, before we say Mount Rushmore. I mean, you looking at a Brady, before that, Montana was the bar. Let's talk about Troy Aikman. I don't think I know Montana Did Montana ever lose a Super Bowl that he was in?
Nope.
Nope.
I don't think Troy Aikman lost.
Well, you take to me what you just said. Montana, you got to put him up there.
Oh yeah.
Terry Bradshaw. You go to 4 Super Bowls, you win 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Boom, you're there.
Yeah, you're there. Yeah.
Case closed there. So let me ask you this, T. Troy Aikman's won, what is it, 3 Super Bowls? He beat the Giants, he beat Washington, and he
Buffalo?
beat Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you got
Buffalo, Washington.
Did they beat Buffalo? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they beat
Buffalo,
Buffalo.
Washington, and Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was 2. Jimmy Johnson beat Washington and
No, it couldn't have been Washington, right?
no, I'm sorry. Jimmy Johnson beat Buffalo. I believe he beat Buffalo twice.
It might have been
Right.
Might have been twice.
I believe he beat them twice.
Yeah.
And then Pittsburgh, Dallas beat Pittsburgh.
Yep.
So he wound up going 3-0 in the Super Bowls.
Yep. And I would
For
say,
me, oh, go ahead.
No. I was going to say about what you was just talking about for Mahomes on the Mount Rushmore. But go ahead. What was you going to say?
I would put Patrick Mahomes over Aikman. Because if you remember that offensive line for the Cowboys, if you remember,
awesome.
Bernie Kosar.
Yeah.
Bernie Kosar was able to pass and win in that game. Rodney Peete was able to win with that offensive line of the Cowboys. And they had another quarterback that came from Minnesota. I can't think of his name offhand. He wound up quarterbacking the Dallas Cowboys win. And there was another kid, I can't think of his name. He came from the Raiders. But at that particular time, anybody could get behind that Dallas offensive line and quarterback with a.
Well, you see who's the Russian leader of all time.
Yeah.
You know what line he was behind? Yeah.
Emmitt Smith.
There you go. That says it all. Yeah, but in relations to that Mahomes, I'm gonna say a little bit more with T. He's off to a great start. But I think he's like a cake that's in the oven. He's still rising. He's still young. And what I like that you have to say you've seen from him this year is the level of growth. Not getting the big plays, of being able to check it down, the game slowing down. Because as you know, as we all know, as you get older, you get less limbo and you ain't fast. So you're going to have to do it from the pocket, which he's showing he can do. And with him being so young, he has a lot of time to keep maturing. And with Andy Reid and Bieniemy there, who seem like they know what they're doing offensively, both of them, he's in a great spot right now to go.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, to go to the big things.
And give it up to Andy Reid and the general manager for the way they retooled that offense.
Yeah, that offensive line. Yeah.
That offensive line is a stout offensive line, and they got embarrassed against Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl, and it was like they said, never again.
Yep.
But it's to me now, can you stay hungry and can you still draft good? Because you're not going to be drafting at the bottom. The top, you're always going to be drafting at the bottom. And can you keep retooling like you did? If you can keep retooling and getting the right personnel, the sky's the limit for Kansas.
Yep. And you got to stay healthy.
Yeah.
And you're going to lose players.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think offensively, I think they're pretty much set. I don't think they're losing anybody there. I don't know about on the defense end, but All
Well, I
there.
think whatchamacallit signed a 1-year deal.
Cool.
Juju.
Yeah.
Juju.
Juju's on a 1 year. Yeah.
That's
He wants to well,
why would you want to leave?
we'll
Yeah.
see.
I
Yeah.
think Juju's a Juju. He doesn't. He goes by the beat of his own music. Where that when he had a chance to leave Pittsburgh, he says, "No, I'm coming back. 1-year deal. I'm good."
Yeah.
He didn't. He's not thinking of. He's not thinking about signing bonus money. No, not by any means. He's like, okay, sign me for a year. I'm good. Nah, keep that signing bonus money. Just give me a paycheck.
Yeah. Well,
And so I can see him going back to Kansas City for 1 more year. They probably give him about $9 million, and he'll be happy.
yeah. I would go there in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little too cold for me, bro. I'm taking my ring and I'm going. I'm calling Miami. Hey, need a player?
Yeah. Like they say, winning solves a lot of things.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be like this. I'll take my ring and say bye-bye.
I'll give a shout out to Deb, who's in the chat.
Hey, Deb.
Yeah, so she
Hi,
checked out the
Deb.
Super Bowl too. Yeah, was you happy with the results? That's what I want to know. Was you happy with the results
Deb,
of the
was
game?
you happy? How much money did you win?
If you did, I want some.
Did you have to go? Did you have to go in a couple of dark alleys and say, "Where's my money?" and beat them up? A couple of brass knuckles on.
Yeah.
Couple of brass rings on.
It's like she enjoyed the food. She didn't really understand what was going on, but it was, it was such a good game that she tuned in.
Yeah, okay. That's all. That's it. Keep
Gave us a
watching
little
XO
shout
Sports.
out.
We'll teach you the X and O's of the game.
Yeah.
That's what we
She's
do.
saying she's watching us to understand what
Yeah.
was going on. Appreciate that.
No,
That's what we do,
thank you. Yeah, but don't have Emerson teach you. You'd be like, you'd be getting one of those 101 books to learn football. Don't do it.
Yeah, he come on with a big book. Gotta know this, gotta know that. You gotta know this.
Yeah.
No, Kuiper, Junior.
You got to take the defensive back and put him at linebacker, all that stuff. Hey, guys, how much blame do you give the Eagles coaching staff for blowing a 10-point lead? Terry?
I don't really put a lot of blame on them. Could they have made adjustments, like you said, screen pass here or there? I thought they played the game well. Obviously, they slowed down in the second half. But it's like I said, the Chiefs minus Tyreek Hill, that offense keeps coming. And they walk you down. And that's exactly what happened.
Mhm.
They had the lead at halftime, but in my opinion, I didn't. I think everybody else was thinking the same thing. It's not enough points. Not enough points. Now, I do agree with you. You got to capitalize and you got to win the game when you're up by that many points. But this offense is explosive. And they did what they had to do. They took Kelsey he was a non-factor in the second half. And Juju and those guys just made big plays. Juju, Pacheco. So I think they did a good job. First, a lot of players, first time being in the Super Bowl, they held their own and they look good. Look really good.
Brian?
If you're going to give the blame to anybody, it's going to be, I guess, defensively. Because the Eagles, they scored in every quarter. They got seven in the first, 17 in the second, 3 in the third, and 8 in the fourth. So they ain't like they got shut out, but they just gave up 17 in the fourth. And with that 17, 2 of those plays came off of the, which is Bieniemy and Reid's credit. They did the same play twice, ran it different sides, and the wide receiver ran it for untouched touchdowns. They was by themselves, and the play calling was genius on it when they broke it down. So if you're going to blame anybody, you're going to blame, I guess, defensively, because offensively, what do you want them to do? You want them to put up 10 points in every quarter?
But that's what you need to do against an offense like that.
Yeah.
Or keep them off the field.
But they did that too.
Yeah.
They had the time of possession. As I said, they played
that's right.
They played an absolute great game, and they still lost.
Yeah.
Well, you're being nice about it, because I'm not going to be nice about it.
Deb agreed with me. She said good game.
That's nice. No. If it was me, I'm looking at my defensive coordinator, and I'm good riddance. I'm glad you're gone. You couldn't leave fast enough, as far as I'm concerned. I wouldn't even have probably let him on the plane.
Boy, you're rough, man.
No, you know why I'm rough? Because what you just said, I can live with when the wide receiver act like he was going the opposite way, and then he cut back, and now he's all alone on the right side, touchdown. I can live with that. I can walk over to the defensive coordinator and go, they got us on that one. The second time on the left side, this part was not made for children to listen to, because I would have cussed him out. I would have said, didn't you just saw what happened over there? And now you let it happen on this side?
Well,
Brian, this is not high school. You just saw it happen on the right side. As a defensive coordinator, you got to walk over to the guys and say, okay, they got us with that play. Look alive, guys. Anything's possible. You can't say it's going to happen, but you can say, guys, look, you're talking about an Kansas City offensive team that went into a carousel.
I was going to say
You remember the carousel?
No, I remember.
And then broke out. Philadelphia was ready for that. They saw film on it doing that. You just saw this happen to you live on the right side. Guys, smell some ammonia. Clear your heads. Look alive. This team is possible to do anything. As a defensive coordinator, not as a defensive back.
But he has already called that play in, though, man. The defensive assignment.
Brian, once you saw the man go in motion, you got to say, oh, no, this ain't going to happen to me.
Well, that's the player. Then now you get into the play.
That's the coach, too, to say, hey, look alive. Anything's possible with this team.
But you have to give.
You can't predict the play, but you got to say, guys, anything's possible with this team with trickery.
And that's kind of what I was saying in regards to Kansas City calling a flawless offensive game, because they did that carousel play in retrospect to see what they were gonna run for the next play. They didn't do that just if we score fine. But I think they were doing it just to see what the defense was gonna do. Okay, so now we know what they're gonna do next play. They were thinking 2 steps ahead, like chess.
Yeah. For me, with the Eagles, I have nothing for them. I have nothing for the offensive coordinator. I have nothing for the defensive coordinator. They both got jobs. I'm completely, because you know why? When it comes to a Super Bowl, go knock on Dan Marino's door. And
Okay.
Dan Marino will tell you he went to the Super Bowl one time and he lost to the 49ers. And he said, well, I lost, but I'll be back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And sometimes you never get back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
So for these guys, they're off now doing head coaching jobs. You know, I wish them the best, but for me, that second half, they sucked. And as that defensive coordinator goes, he would not have been on the plane with me. I would have said, you know, we got engine problems, the capacity.
Plane's
of
too
the plane, we
heavy.
got the plane's too heavy. You're going to have to catch a prop plane to get back because you wouldn't have jumped on that plane.
Yeah. Your bags are still with the oh yeah, you rough,
Your
man.
bags-
You rough.
Yeah. That's not rough.
You are rough.
You get one
man.
shot at that.
Yeah, you do. That's why some of the great ones are there all the time.
Yep.
Mhm.
So no, I shed no tears. Guys, what grade do you give the referees in Super Bowl 57, Terry?
I'll give them a B minus, and that's just based off the fact that there was a few plays. Now this was supposed to be, as Roger Goodell said, the top crew, right? And given everything that happened in the playoffs with some I'll just say suspect calls leading up to the Super Bowl, this was supposed to be the crew. And they were also known to be the crew to, I guess, throw the most penalty flags, but they missed a pass interference call early in the game. I think it was the corner for the Eagles, James Bradbury. It was a blatant pass interference on Juju Smith-Schuster, and they missed that call. It stopped the Chiefs' drive early, and then they reversed the fumble call, which call me old school or whatever, right? Was that Mike Sanders, Eagles running back?
Mhm.
He fumbled that ball. He took 2 steps. I heard something about
Football
3
move.
steps maybe in possession,
Yeah.
but that was a catch. And Jarius Sneed hit him. That was a catch, and they overturned that call. And then what was that? The catch by the tight end for the Eagles. They said it was a catch. If you look at the replay, he clearly didn't have the ball secure. So, I mean, that to me, it makes you wonder, was that last pass interference call against the Eagles, was that a makeup call, or makeup for all the calls they missed earlier in the game? So based off that, I'm gonna give them a B minus. But I will say that last pass interference call was clearly a pass interference. He got away with the first hold, and the second one is what got him in trouble. So B minus for me. Not really impressed, as Goodell was touting them to be the best crew that they have refereeing this game. So
Say that last part again, T. Roger Goodell said what now?
I think he was touting this crew to be the best crew referee.
Yeah.
Going, leading up to the Super Bowl. I think that's what he said in one of the press conferences.
Yeah, that's what he's supposed to say when you make $40 million a year. Get the private jet. Get all the games you want,
But there was a lot of questionable calls leading up to the Super Bowl and the playoffs that took place. So, he went out there and announced it, and there was some questionable calls again.
Brian.
I think I'm gonna give them a minus. I thought they were relatively letting the teams play. The pass interference at the end clearly to me was a pass interference call. People may say you don't want to make that call at that junction of the game, but if you don't make it at that call, it's going to be an issue. So either way, it's an issue. The player, to me, for Philly, I give him and the coach kudos for being stand up, and the corner admitted, yeah, I did it. And he didn't call out any names. He didn't bicker about it. He just took it and he owned it. So I'm going to give him an A because I thought they were relatively letting them play. It was a clean game. Wasn't an abundance amount of flags going on. And comparing this game to some of the other playoff games, this game was way better official than some of the playoff games that were going on with the refs. So, human elements always take effects, and I thought they relatively did a good job.
I'm like this with that play. I have no skin in the game. I didn't bet my lunch money on it. So the referees could have went either way. They could have said no penalty. All the Kansas City fans cry foul. They call the penalty. All the Eagle fans cry foul. And if it happened against the Steelers, I would be knocking on that referee's door, middle of the night, going, "You hurt my team." So, I mean, it was a call that it could have went either way. That the official could have said, "I'm not calling it. You can still kick a field goal and let your defense, and let's see what happens in overtime." They could have went to overtime, or they could have just let take the football and let's see what Jalen Hurts is made out of. It could have been interesting, but it didn't happen that way. The official called the flag out. Game, set, match. It's all over.
Yeah.
And in boxing, down goes Frazier.
And that's why I would say if it wasn't a hole, then it would be an issue. But to me, I thought clearly, the player thought it was a
clear.
hole.
It was clear. Like I said, he got away with the first one.
Yep.
But that second one is what got him in trouble.
Yep.
And guys, Tiger Woods is returning to the Genesis Invitational.
Aaron, before you get into that, I gotta tell you why it was a good Monday for me.
Oh, okay.
So
every
year I make my my yearly donation of how should I say? We'll say potato chips to some Super Bowl square sheets. And so, needless to say, it was a good game. Really wasn't looking at my sheet. I put in for 2 sheets, and I looked at the first sheet, and I saw I didn't win any potato chips. So I just crumbled it up, I just threw it on the ground. I said, I do this every year. Didn't bother looking at the second sheet, and so I came into a place. We'll just say a place. And I got a message that said, congratulations. I said, congratulations. I said, oh, okay, thank you. And then I found out I won some potato chips. It might have been 1,000 potato chips or so. So it was a great Monday for me. And I looked at my other sheet, and had I known that had I looked at it on Sunday night, I probably would have been at that place a lot earlier than what I was, but got some potato chips out of it.
Yeah.
Lay's potato chips.
Lay's potato chips.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
Brian,
What's up?
You get a chip? Did you get a potato?
He ain't give me no chip. I ain't get no chip. I ain't get no dip. He ain't give nothing. He give me a pretzel. Come on, man.
Yeah. Hey, you told us this on Exo Sports. Yeah, I got a bunch of potato chips. Man. You ain't getting none of my chips.
I gotta pay chip tax first.
I hear this story. Yeah, you got your potato chips. Yeah. Oh, well, wait until we get off here.
Yeah.
Ice Cube say it was a good day.
Bag of Lay's. All right.
Yeah, we'll talk about that, Mr. 49er jacket. Guys, Tiger Woods is returning to the golf course. He returned today at the Genesis Invitational at the Riviera Country Club outside Los Angeles. California. Guys, what do you expect out of Tiger Woods? Terry.
My expectations for him in this tournament is tune up for him. See how his body's gonna hold up over multiple days, 18 holes of golf. I wouldn't put it past him to win the tournament because he is Tiger Woods. But I think his mindset going into it is tune up. Let's see how my body feels and get ready for the Masters. Now, as Tiger does, if he spells blood, he's going to go for it and try to win the tournament. But that's just my expectations. So we'll see. We'll see what happens on Sunday.
Brian.
I have no expectations. I just would like to see him get through and just compete and finish, finish in a graceful manner. But I have no expectations. He's playing with no expectations. His career is pretty much, it is cemented. So it'd be good to see him be able to improve and maybe win one more. It would be great for us to see as a sports fan, and it'd be great for golf in general. But I have no expectations. I just want him to be able to get through this, and hopefully he's enjoying life and enjoying it, man.
He's playing, like you said, he's playing with house money. I wish him the best. I think his career now is, you may see a flash once in a while, but I think as far as seeing him dominate in golf ever again, my answer is no. He's right now, he shot a 2 under today. The leader shot a 7 under. And for Tiger Woods to get off to a 2 under, that's pretty good today. Now let's see if his legs can hold up on Friday and Saturday. And I think that's what you have to look for in Tiger Woods. Yep. Guys, this has been an awesome show. And I just want to say this to my mentor, Terry. I hope you begin to mend, that you're not in pain. And my heart goes out to you.
Yes. Us too.
Terry. Yep. The Exo Sports crew. Now, I'm glad Emerson's not here because he'd sing a song. So Terry, tell us about that subscribe button one more time, please.
Just want to thank everybody for watching tonight's show or listening in. As always, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend, tell your enemy, and share the show with your friends and enemies as well. We'll be back next week to talk about XFL, which is kicking off this weekend, and also Joe Mazzulla has been hired by the Boston Celtics. He's no longer their interim coach. It's official. He is their head coach. So lots of NBA talk coming your way next week. With the All-Star game taking place this weekend as well. So we'll see what's coming up on the second half of the NBA. But thanks again, and everybody have a good night, and we'll see you. Hopefully we'll have the full band back together next week as well.
Yeah.
Ringo and McCartney. All right. Guys, good night. God bless everybody from Exo Sports Talk.
Yes, indeed.
Good night, everybody.
You got chips for everybody.
Chips.